They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It's your boy, the Squirrel. Today we're going to look at Frankie Boyle's 5 funniest stand-up jokes. Let's get into it.
Donald Trump sort of looks like someone playing a president in a porno. It's not just that he's the worst person for the job, he might be the worst mammal. Would you have bothered with the hair if you had his face? If your face looked like a novelty jug that was made in a secure unit pottery class. People were saying, oh, he can't build a wall between America and Mexico. The Mexicans have started building it themselves. Trump alienated the Republican base. There were Republican politicians who didn't vote for him. Those are some of the worst people in the world. How can you lose them? There are people who didn't vote for Trump who would have voted for Magneto. He said a lot of mad, racist and sexist stuff that would have got you fired from any other job. Just imagine, you get called in by your HR and they go, sorry Larry, you've said a lot of mad, racist and sexist stuff. You can't stalk timber anymore. The only job you're now qualified for is President of the United States.
Oh, wow.
People say, don't they, say, well, Hillary was the best qualified candidate ever. She was Secretary of State, she was First Lady, she was an attorney. That's not the problem. Peter Sutcliffe was an excellent truck driver. It's the attitude. Hillary Clinton, I'm trying to think of something positive to say about her. I suppose, for a granny, she was quite good at email. If my granny had even seen a laptop, she would have tried to toast a sandwich in it. Maybe we just have to accept Americans are irrational. Well, this is a country of people who not only don't have health care, they don't want health care, and they're angry if someone offers them health care. This is...
It's not completely true, but it's true at the same time. That's funny as hell. Oh. All right, back to Frankie.
This is a country of people obsessed with their teeth. Obsessed with their teeth. Don't care if they live or die. And say what you like about British people, we don't judge anybody by their teeth. Unless they're a child refugee fleeing a war zone. Anyway, what'd you do?
I'm an interior designer.
You're an interior designer. I notice some inconsistencies in the way that you've designed the exterior of your face. Not in a terrible way, but it's not so much eyebrows, it's more like someone's decided to underline your head. God gave you eyebrows, so why not tear them off and draw them back on with no mirror and a lump of coal?
I pointed this out last time, I'm pointing this out again. The blonde girl has worse eyebrows, I think.
Fucking hell, are you on some kind of poverty safari? Who are you? Where are you from?
Glasgow.
You're from Glasgow? Where the fuck abouts are you? Where the fuck have you not been picked off? What do you do? Inside you're from Pollock? What the fuck is going on here? Have you quantum leaped here from an alternative Pollock? Look, you're getting a fucking hard time for getting your phone out, you dozy cunt. Where are you from? Any idea? Just looking up at me like your fucking cat started talking. You've got a blank face there, pal. If you held that expression for long enough in a hospital, you get fucking switched off.
You fucking switched off? Oh, man, this Frankie Boyle guy, man. Oh, I love comedy. I'm a big fan of comedy, and I love comedians that just let it go, you know? They're not out trying to just offend everybody, but they're not, they just kind of put the filter off. Let's just let it go. And this guy, he's fucking great.
We need to think more about the psychology of politicians. Vladimir Putin is probably a homophobe because he's had to go through life with the name of a gay porn star. I thought it was very sad to read about the death of Robin Williams last year. I can't be the only person. You enjoyed the death of Robin Williams? Well, actually I did. Enjoyed his early work, but to be honest, Patch Adams quite amused me that the guy who did Patch Adams actually committed suicide. That was a certain amount of irony involved there. And you'd be churlish to deny it, Frankie. I read about the death of Robin Williams and I thought, why can't James Corden get depressed?
Oh, wow.
I did that in London. A guy get really fucking angry. He went, my wife is depressed. Turns out the correct response to that heckle is not, no fucking wonder. He said, this is all true. He went, the irony is, depression's a very serious illness. I said, you don't seem to understand what irony means. The irony here is that you're making me feel depressed. And he walked out. And as he walked out, and I went, suicide can never be funny. I said, well, kill yourself and see if I laugh.
Fuck. I wasn't expecting that. That was, wow.
People say that Steve Jobs died too soon, but I think it was a fitting metaphor for his company's attitude to battery life.
Oh man, I got this phone that I have. My wife upgraded my phone for me for my birthday last year, and my birthday's in 2 more months, in March, and it still works pretty good, but it's not nearly what it was when I first got it. That one lasts like a month and a half.
There's almost no hope in my work. And it's partly because I feel that hope is overrated. I think we are the descendants of people who are very wary and very cautious about stuff. Is that a leopard over there? Maybe that's a leopard. There's almost no evolutionary advantage to going, well, maybe it's not a leopard. Let's all just really hope that it isn't there. Those people were eaten by leopards. Saying don't have hope. If you have a dream, if you have an ambition, please go for it, because I love to watch cunts like you struggle. But I feel a bit bad sometimes because I grew up watching Bill Hicks. You know, he was my favourite comedian, and that's probably the reason I'm in it. It's still probably my favourite comedian. He had so much hope that even when he was dying in his last show, he does a big routine about, don't worry, life is all just a ride. Just try to enjoy it. It's all just a ride. But I sort of think, maybe it's all just a ride if you're one of the people that's allowed on the ride. If you're one of the people that's rich enough or white enough to be allowed on the ride. What if you're one of the people that has to build and maintain the ride? If I had to build and maintain the ride, I would stretch piano wire across the bottom of the roller coaster so that everybody finished the ride with a photograph of themselves with 2 thumbs up and no fucking head.
Oh, lead him down the garden path and turn the fucking hose on him.
I was accused of fathering a baby. Bieber said, judge me on my music. Guilty. Everyone was going on about the diving for some reason. It's not even a difficult dive. It's the same diving board you get at decent swimming baths. 9/11, that was a difficult dive. It'd been good to see someone grab their ankles on 9/11, throwing a few turns on the way down. Nice to see someone come down with a bit of style that day. Just one guy surfing down on a desk. I said that as it was happening, and it's taken 11 years to become acceptable. It's a weird time to be doing comedy, you know. It's the first time since I started when people have said, let's ban certain words, let's ban certain jokes. And language doesn't really work.
I listen, I get that, you know, the 9/11 jokes, that was a really difficult day for me personally, so, but again, I understand it's comedy. I'm not, you know, I understand it. I just...
Like that, you know. I had a wee line on the last tour about the Ministry of Defence. I'm very anti-war, so I was going, Ministry of Defence, at least in the old days we were honest, and we used to call it the Ministry of War. Hello, Ministry of War, Department of Nigger Bombing, how can I help? And that actually comes from a quote from Lloyd George. Lloyd George, when he was British Prime Minister, said, Britain reserves its right to bomb niggers.
What?
And that's an important quote, because once you hear that, you realise that Britain's always been racist from the top down. I thought it's worth using that in a joke for. It's worth using that word for. A guy came up to me after a gig in Glasgow, a white guy, and he said, I don't think that you should ever use the word nigger in any context. And I said, well, you've just used it. And you know what he said? He said what I kind of hoped I would say in the same circumstances. He went, no, I didn't. I haven't really done gigs in Scotland since the referendum, so all I know is that 55% of you are probably cunts.
Oh, it's great. That's fucking great.
To be honest, that was always the average with my crowds anyway, so... It was old people that swung the referendum, wasn't it? Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when you used to see an old Scottish couple on a quiz show, and you get behind them, you go, come on, be brilliant. Because they were Scottish and they're always daft as fuck. Question number 1. Do you think that you can sell oil for money? Do you think we could, Alec? Do you think we can sell the oil for money? Do you think someone would pay us money? Money for the oil? We don't think so, no. You fucking stupid old bastards. Now we've got austerity. It's pretty bad as well. Things are so bad in Glasgow that mothers have started dressing their children up as referees in the hope that people throw coins at them in the street. And everybody's looking for someone to blame, aren't they? Is it immigrants? Is it people on benefits? It was the fucking banks! They showed you them doing it on the fucking news! Am I the only person that remembers that? Am I going fucking crazy? Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of watching Columbo with my granny when I was wee.
I used to watch Columbo with my grandmother.
They'd show you the murder in the pre-credit sequence. It wasn't a who done it. It was about Columbo proving that the guy did it. And then halfway through, my granny'd always go, I think it was her. Okay, it was fucking him! They showed you him doing it with a fucking paperweight. It's exactly the same thing with austerity. I think it's those Polish cunts round the corner. It was the fucking banks! The fucking banks! I thought it was sad Scotland didn't get independence because, you know, I lived in England for a few years, but I think I still passed the test of full Scottishness in that I can hear a cricket score and have absolutely no idea who won. And we're a unique people, aren't we? The only country in the world where people give travel reviews entirely in alcohol prices. How was Prague? How was it? £1.30 for a litre of vodka. 40p a pint. Are there nice museums? Quite possibly, yes. I think whatever happens next, it's important that we do something that the English aren't expecting. Something to put England on the back foot. And the last thing that they're expecting is for us to form an Islamic caliphate. Ah yes, independent Scotland. Okay, we might have to learn how to treat women slightly better, but we can change.
Treat women better. The Scots would have to learn how to treat women better. That's. Oh, he just slips it in. That's good.
Ah yes, just wait for independence. independence. They weren't debating currency union. What will we use for currency? Journalists. Good idea.
Oh, wow. That was a good time. Boy, this guy, I mean, he's not afraid of any topic at all. Some good stuff in there. Well, all of it was good. It was great stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed it. I hope that you check out the playlist, some of the other reaction videos I've done. Check out the Squirrel Greetings playlist. There's plenty of custom fuck you messages to people in there. You can send them to your friends. Feel free to share this video out. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. We'd appreciate it. Thanks so much. Squirrel out.
You're worse than a bunch of nuts in a squirrel tree.